Hello, everybody. Today we are going to review the movie The Stand-In, starring Drew Barrymore. And I just realized my lighting's really bad, so I am going to fix that and come right back. Okay, I feel like you guys can definitely see me better now. So as I was saying, we are reviewing the movie The Stand-In, starring Drew Barrymore, as well as... God, why can't TJ something? TJ, why can I never think of his name? Right when I need to, for whatever reason. TJ Miller, right. So this movie is actually from last year, and I'm not sure, it must have just gotten released on Netflix, because I'd actually never even heard of it yet. And I guess it's also on Prime for $5.99 if you want to watch it there, but it is on Netflix for free, so you can watch it there as well. So the main cast was Drew Barrymore, who played Paula and Candy. So we have this actress named Candy Black, who's this super famous actress known for, I guess, like her slapstick comedy type movies. It's just kind of funny because every movie seems to be basically the same kind of concept, same kind of thing, exact same line delivered every time. That hit me right where it hurts, was the line that she delivers every time she gets in an accident, and no matter what movie it is, it's different. It's a different accident every time, I suppose, but she just seems to be like kind of typecast. I believe is the right word. So Paula is her stand-in, and then at one point, Candy has this huge meltdown on set. She's super heavy into the drugs, so she doesn't want to even be there doing this film anymore because it's not her passion. Which we find out later on in the movie. So she has this huge hissy fit after she gets hit in the head by the wrong object, not the bottle. This cast iron, I can't remember what they called it, but it was this giant cast iron thing that she gets hit in the head with by the other actress, and the other actress is trying to play it off like she's blaming it on the fact that she didn't have breakfast that morning, and so on and so forth. And Candy's not buying it, so she has this huge meltdown and goes off on the whole set. And then it goes to this news reporters saying that was 5 years ago, and nobody has seen her since. She hasn't been paying her taxes. She's basically been dead to the outside world. So Candy at this point knows that she has to do something to get everybody to stop talking about her. So she calls her stand-in to get her to actually go to rehab for her. And obviously the stand-in wants her old life back because she was still making, I guess, relatively good money as a stand-in. Obviously for a top actress, right? Would make sense. So she takes on the role of Candy, and she actually ends up texting this guy that Candy has been talking to for the last year. And we actually do find out that Candy's real name is Kathy, and she's huge into woodworking. She just wants to live her own life now, and she just wants to live it with Steve. And her agent, who was played by TJ Miller, his name was Lewis, and we find out that isn't even his real name. So everybody's just kind of lying to one another. So it just seemed really funny. And then Paula takes on the role of Candy and starts doing this like apology to her. She takes this acting role, and then right when you think things are going to go well for her, she ends up freaking out herself and tries to go back to Kathy, or aka Candy, the original Candy, and I guess kind of makes up with her because she does some really like shady shit to her. Like she texts Kathy from her laptop saying that it's Steve and he has a wife. He can't see her anymore. Then she ends up starting to date Steve, and she starts to fall in love with Steve just because... No, I don't really know why she did the whole Steve part. That seemed kind of weird because she could have just totally left him out of it, but I guess he keeps trying to come back to see her, so she figures if he wants to see Candy, I'm Candy, and I'm going to hide the other one from him. That way he won't know that Kathy is still around. But then when Kathy finally just gives up and lets Paula take over, she ends up getting kicked out of the house, so she goes over to Lewis's house, or apartment, I guess, and Lewis kicks her to the curb too. He says, "Why would I work with you when this new version of Candy is much easier to work with? She shows up on time, she's excited for her job, so on and so forth." So he just says goodbye to her. So you can tell that nobody really cares who they're working with, because he says this whole industry's fake anyway, so why would it matter to me whether I was working with the real Candy or the fake Candy? Because everybody thinks that the fake Candy is the real Candy now anyway, and she's already made a big enough name for herself that it doesn't matter. So she goes on to do all of that stuff while, she basically just takes over Candy's whole life. That's basically who she's become. Paula has become Candy. So she decides to take this acting role. Then she realizes that she can't do it, so she goes back to the original Candy and tries to apologize. I mean, she does apologize, and she says maybe Steve was a step too far. I don't know. She doesn't really understand why she did that, because I guess she just kind of felt in some way that she was kind of getting back at, I guess, Kathy a little bit for ruining her life. I'm not really sure why she took it that far. She didn't really need to, but anyhow. So then Kathy basically just says to her, like, you wanted this so bad, now you have it. Just don't be like me, keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be alright. So then it flash forwards to a year later, and Kathy and Steve are in their woodworking shop like they'd always dreamed. I guess he actually did a really horrible thing too, not on purpose. It was all drunken accident. At least that's the way he explained it. Now I guess we'll never really know, because we don't actually see any like evidence of the photo in the movie, but people recognize him too, and for the wrong reasons. Let's just say that much. It's obviously, I think he obviously has some doubts about the way Candy was acting through the movie, because he was kind of a little confused as to why she would talk a full year about not wanting to act again, and then all of a sudden she gets all this fans and following. But I mean, I suppose the nostalgia of it too, so he wasn't putting too much thought into it. He probably was like, oh well, she's out and about now again, so she's kind of having this, like, I guess, kind of honeymoon moment with it, because he just wants her to be happy, right? So he kind of goes along with it, and then when he actually ends up running into the real Kathy in the house when she's coming back to get tools, because she has accepted the fact that she's no longer going to be in that lifestyle. She wants out of it completely, so she's decided that she's going to go get this construction job. And he runs into her after Paula, the imposter, has told him that there's this homeless woman that has went and gotten surgery, which wasn't even like a good lie, so I don't know why Steve believed it. But then when he runs into her and sprays her with the spray in the face, he hears Kathy in the voice. So he knows that now he's been with the wrong one this entire time, so he takes Kathy with him. They both leave, and then Paula's all left alone. And then she gets the call for the role. She goes and tries to do the role, and now we're up to speed. When she comes back, and Kathy just says to her, like I said before, like, you are Candy now, so go out and do it. Just, don't do what I did. And then it kind of looks like at the end, when Steve and Kathy are in their woodworking shop, or store, I guess, really, it seems that Paula's having some sort of mental breakdown at the very end of the movie, throwing a camera at the paparazzi and so on and so forth. But I don't really know whether it was supposed to be that big, or she just finally realized that it was all becoming a little overwhelming for her, and maybe she realized that Kathy was actually right, and fame is not all it's drawn up to be, because I think this movie really did show one person who was kind of second best, who wanted to be the best, and the other person who had been the best for, in this movie, she said 20 plus years, and just wanted to finally just say, I want to live my own life the way I wanted to live it. I've already done, the whole service to the people, the entertainment type thing. She goes, like, she just didn't want it anymore. She just wanted to be retired and go live her life and be happy, because she was never happy doing the acting, because even though it was good money, it never really brought her true happiness because it wasn't a real passion of hers. So that does make sense. If you're doing something and it isn't a passion, get out of it early, because you'll just be miserable your entire life, and you don't want to. You only got one life to live, so yeah, go out and live it, and enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it. Don't sell yourself short, because everybody has. This film showed that everybody has a potential to do something, and you don't want to wait too long to do it. Do it while you're young, and that way you'll have your life set up the way you want it to be when you're older, right? And especially if you're planning on having kids or anything, then that life is set up for your kids. And obviously I'm not saying your kids are going to take the same career path as you. Let them do whatever they want to do, right? It makes sense. There's so many options out there now. So, like, I know a lot of people don't really believe in the online, like, business model thing, but there's so many opportunities with online stuff now that it's just crazy what you can actually make money at. So, yeah, I would say that's kind of taught you a life lesson of don't sell yourself short. And this was actually a really good film. I would have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I don't know. Wow, IMDb, I just looked down and rated this super low, 4.6. And maybe I'm being a bit biased just because I really do like Drew Barrymore. But that could just be me. I think they did a really good job of actually making them look like they were in the same room, too, when they were together. And there was actually some funny moments in this. I thought she actually had killed her at one point, because I was like, oh my god, did Paula just kill Kathy just in order to get a date with Steve? Seems a little excessive, but I guess she just drugged her, so no real harm done other than dumping her out of a wheelbarrow into her shed. That was a little weird, but anyhow, yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for this movie. I don't really think I have a real true criticism of it. I just think that's just the rating it deserves. Sometimes I just don't really have anything bad to say about the film. So yeah, I will see you guys. Before I even get into that, as always, I almost forgot about the outro. Like, share, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If not, I would say definitely go watch it. It is worth the watch, obviously, because I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. But even when I give movies a lower score, like I've said before, if anybody makes it this far in the videos, still go watch it, because everybody's interpretation is different. And I think I should probably say that in more of my videos, to be completely honest. I should probably say that in every video. But sometimes I just forget, because I get on such a tangent, kind of like what I'm doing now. And I just forget what to say sometimes. But anyhow, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.